Hypotheses are of two types. One is null hypothesis and the second one is alternative hypothesis. So null hypothesis is a statement or assumption about the population parameter. So such hypothesis of no difference is called null hypothesis. So it is denoted by H naught. So it is of the form H naught is to mu is equal to mu naught. Mu is the population mean and mu naught is the assumed value. These two are equal. There is no difference between these two. That is null hypothesis. According to Fisher, he defined this null hypothesis as it is a hypothesis which is tested for possible rejection under the hypothesis that it is true. That means the theory has proof for investigation is called null hypothesis. Example, the average percent of CSE group for both boys and girls are the same. And here the boys percent and the girls percent both are same. There is no difference. That is taken as null hypothesis, and it is written as in the form H naught is to mu is equal to 50. So here mu is the mean of population and this 50 is the average percent of the boys and girls. Now alternative hypothesis. So this is purely the opposite to null hypothesis, which contradicts the null hypothesis, and it is denoted by H1. That is, the two hypotheses H naught H1 are such that if one is true, the other is false. Both are contradict each other, that is complementary to each other. So if H naught is true, other is false, vice versa also. Next, the alternate hypothesis would be, that means here mu and mu naught are not equal. Then we can have these cases, that is if these two are not equal, that is called two-tailed alternative test. If one is greater than to other, right tail test, that one is less than to mu naught, that is called left tail test. So here it arises one tail test and two tail test. Next, setting of alternative hypothesis is very important to decide whether we have to use two tail test or single test. So whenever the test starts, that is null hypothesis, and the second one is alternative hypothesis, and we have to set up this alternate hypothesis regarding basic on this two-tailed or single-tailed test. So the average percent of boys and girls are not equal. That means that may arise like average percent of boys is more than the girls, or the average percent of boys is less than the girls. So three cases arise for this alternative hypothesis. Next, so whenever we are doing tests now, we definitely get some errors. So that is errors in sampling. So we are taking only the samples from the population. So some errors will occur, and that error can also be called as risk. So on the basis of sample results, we decide to accept or reject the hypothesis gives error or risk. So how many errors occurs? Type 1 and type 2 error. So type 1 error is whenever null hypothesis is true, that reject that null hypothesis. So reject H naught when it is true. If the null hypothesis is H naught is true, but it is rejected by test procedure. So I am taking the assumption, the hypothesis, null hypothesis as true. By testing, it is proven that is rejected, that is false. Then that error is called as type 1 error or produces risk or alpha error. Next, type 2 error. So whenever that null hypothesis is false and by test procedure it is accepted, then that type of error committed is type 2 error or consumer's risk or beta error. Here type 1 error is pre-assigned value, that is 1% or 5% or 10%. So type 1 error is pre-assigned value. So the only way to reduce these errors is to increase the sample size if possible. If we increase the sample size, that errors may not occur more. For example, how can you differentiate these two errors in reality? So I am taking one example, that is a case for judgment. So judgment and reality, what the conditions get. So assume to be innocent person is feeling guilty. So always innocent person feel guilty. So assume to be innocent until proven guilty. So our assumption is innocent feeling guilty if he has a problem, if he enters in any problem. But other prosecution claim is that person is not guilty. Then so what are the judgments we'll have? So if judgment is like this, guilty case and not guilty. So in reality also we write guilty and not guilty. So in our basic idea, whenever the judgment is guilty and in real case that also got guilty, is that true or false? That is true only, that is right, that their decision is right. Okay, if not guilty, the judgment is given not guilty and the reality also got as not guilty, and that is also right case. Now coming to this, whenever the guilty judgment is given as guilty and reality the prosecution proved that not guilty, that is considered as wrong hypothesis. That is wrong hypothesis. Now for the judgment not guilty case, that reality he got guilty, then it is also wrong hypothesis. So in this case, in the first wrong hypothesis, this is called as type 1 error, and here this second wrong hypothesis, this is called as type 2 error. This can also called as alpha error and this one as beta error. Always alpha error is less than beta error. Why? Because we have a judgment like 100 culprits are let it be go free, no innocent should be punished. That is the case for this, alpha is less than beta. Okay, have you got the point? 100 culprits can be free but no innocent will be punished.